Hey, what's up? Stephanie, the English coach here from EnglishFulltime.com. In this video, I want us to do some practice, some natural English pronunciation practice with suffixes. Because I have found that when English students try to pronounce suffixes, they often don't pronounce them the way that we usually do in English. They might look at the actual letters and try to pronounce the letters. And you have to remember, English is not spoken the way that it is written. So I have 15 very common suffixes that we are going to go over, and I have practice words that we're going to use, 3 practice words for every suffix, okay? So the first suffix, if you look at it, it looks like able, okay? But really, I want you to think of this as a bowl, a bowl, a bowl, okay? So, for example, available, 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 lovable, 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 okay? And then reliable, 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 okay? So the able suffix, think of it as a bowl, okay? Available, lovable, reliable. Next, we have what looks like age, but I don't want you to say age. I want you to say and think of it as age, okay? So mileage, mileage, package, 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 courage, courage, courage. Next, we have what looks like airy or something like that, but I want you to think of it as airy, okay? Like the air that we breathe. Airy, airy. So, ordinary, ordinary, nary. Primary, primary. Dictionary, 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 nary, nary. Ordinary, primary, dictionary. Oh, I forgot to say, this is the document that I'm reading off of. You can go down to the description and you can download it and you can practice with it. I have the suffix, how you should think of it, and then the practice words. So go ahead and get that. Next, we have what looks kind of like cious or something like that. Just think of it as cious. Shis, or you could even remove the vowel sound and think of it as shis, shis, shis. Okay, so delicious, delicious, delicious. This cake is delicious. Precious, precious, precious. Conscious, conscious, conscious. Next, we have what looks like dumb, okay, but I want you to think of it as dumb. Dumb, dumb. Okay, so kingdom, kingdom, kingdom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Wisdom, 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 wisdom. Next, we have ence, but I want you to think of it as ence, ence. So confidence, confidence, dense, dense, confidence. Independence, independence, ence, independence. Patience, patience, patience. Next we have ent, but I want you to think of it like int, int, int. Student, student, student. Confident, confident, confident. Different, different, different. Int, int, int. Next we have full, okay? It's just pronounced like that, full, full, full. And I like to represent that ol sound as an O-L, ol, full, full. Beautiful, beautiful, full, beautiful. Cheerful, 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 cheerful. Helpful, helpful, helpful. Next, we have ecole, and I want you to think of it as either ecole or ecole. Either one is fine. So, magical, magical, okay? Magi or maj, both are fine. Magical, magical, or magical, magical. Next, historical, historical, historical. Practical, practical, practical. Next, we have ism, ism, ism. And you could say ism or you could say ism, ism, ism. So listen, racism, racism, or racism, racism. It really depends on how much you reduce the vowel sound in the final syllable. Okay, so both are correct. Racism or racism. I find that when I'm trying to speak extra clearly, I tend to pronounce all of the sounds and all of the syllables as much as possible. But when my speech is a little bit more relaxed, like everyday speech, you might say, then I tend to reduce those vowel sounds a little bit more. So instead of saying racism, I might say racism, racism. Next, we have patriotism, patriotism, ism, ism, criticism, criticism, criticism. Next, we have what looks like logy, but we're going to say logy, logy, logy. So psychology, 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 logy, logy, psychology. Biology, 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 logy, logy, biology. And geology, 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 logy, logy, geology. Next, we have ment, but I want you to think of it as mint, mint, mint. So development, development. Improvement, improvement, improvement. Sentiment, sentiment, sentiment. Next, we have ness, but I want you to think of it as ness, ness, ness. Happiness, happiness, happiness. Kindness, kindness, kindness. Darkness, darkness. Then we have shun, but I want you to think of it as shin or shin. Shin or shin. Okay? So action, action or action, action. Creation, creation or creation, creation. Solution, solution or solution, solution. So in one version, I'm just saying the I sound a little more prominently, and in the other, I'm just reducing it, okay, to shin, shin, shin. Basically S-H-N. Okay, the final one, we have ward, and I want you to think of it as word, word. Actually, like the word, like what word did he say? Word. So we have backward, backward, backward. Forward, 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 and upward, upward, upward. Okay, so I hope this exercise helps you see that you cannot rely on the spelling in English, and if you try to read words the way they are spelled, it will actually make your accent stronger, more prominent. And if you want to reduce your accent, if you want to sound more natural, if you want to speak more clearly, then you have to really listen to how English is spoken and imitate that. Don't rely on the written system because it will confuse you, and it likely has already confused you. So this is something we go over extensively in my program, and a good stepping stone into that program, because that is a big 12-week program with a lot in it. But a good stepping stone into that program, if you're struggling with your sounds in English and you really want to fine-tune them and learn how to master every single sound of English so you can speak clearly, then I would recommend checking out my Amazing American Accent Sound Bank course, because it will teach you how to make every single sound of American English clearly. And it's all based on the way that I speak. So hopefully you already know this, that there are lots of ways to speak American English, but I developed a course that's all about how I speak. So if you want to use me as your role model, you can do that, and you can learn by imitating my sounds and my speech. Okay, so that's it. Do not forget to download this document, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye.